Peter, good morning. How are you doing today?
Great, thanks, Gary. Really good.
Excellent. You start early, don't you? You're an early bird. You start work quite early in the day.
Yeah, I try and get to the office between 6:30 and 7. Yeah, most of the agents aren't in until sort of 8:30, 9 o'clock-ish. And I find you can get 2 hours is worth probably 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then I can set my day up. I've just employed a PA, so I can set my day up for her. She comes in at 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some quiet.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
But I'm a morning person, I have my own business. I always started, 6:30.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was going to ask you about that. So prior to real estate, you had another business in New Plymouth. You were manufacturing kitchens, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I had a business called Vogue Kitchens, which I owned for 34 years. So I started that when I was 22.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and just by chance, really. I was working for a company. I had done my time as an apprentice and was a tradesman, and there was an ad in the paper which I rang the agent about where it was. We're trying to work out where the joinery shop was for sale, and he wouldn't tell me. Said, I'll show you. So that was on a Friday afternoon, and I had a look at it, and by Tuesday I owned it.
Wow. Wow.
I had no intention of going out on my own, but it was sort of too good opportunity to pass up, and that's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
August 1983.
Wow. So how did you? Were you not scared when you started?
No, not really. I mean, it's what can go wrong. What's the worst? I always say, what's the worst can go wrong? You go broke.
Yeah.
But you're still going to survive. That's the worst you can go wrong. And if you work hard, it works.
Yeah.
So I brought that. There was a guy there called Steve Toss, who was a third-year apprentice. So the deal was that I'd buy the business, keep him on as an apprentice until he finished his time, and if I was happy with him, would carry on. Well, he's still there.
Wow.
To this day. So he's been there since 1980 in the same company.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we gradually grew and got more apprentices. I like taking on apprentices. I believe in, if you have good apprentices, you get good tradesmen.
Yeah.
It's just nice to train them the way I want them trained. We did some different things with our apprentices that some of the trade didn't do.
Yeah.
I was always a stickler for, having things neat and tidy and presentation. I mean, we used to vacuum our workshop, not sweep it.
Yeah.
Just little things like that.
Yeah.
But it all pulled through onto site. So when you go into someone's house and fitting a kitchen on site, they were nice and neat and tidy, and people really appreciate that.
Yeah.
The little things we overlook. Yeah. So that was a successful business. Yeah, it was really good. Ended up with 12 staff.
Wow. Yeah. So why did you decide to go into real estate? About, I think it was 4 years ago that you joined the industry?
Yeah, 3.5. I had a lady ring me one day that was selling her house, and she said, I need some help with my kitchen. She said, I have my house on the market for coming up 6 months. We've had 2 different agents on it, and everyone is bagging the kitchen. So I went and seen her and had a look at it. She couldn't afford to, actually. She said to me, I can't afford to do the kitchen. So I said to her, look, I'll draw a kitchen plan, redesign it, but I'll give you a really good 3D image.
Yeah.
And we did that. I rung her 3 weeks after, and yeah, she sold the house. The agent had put the image in with the marketing material, and people saw a vision then, and the house sold. And I thought, well, that was pretty easy. More of it, maybe. And that's how I got started. So along with that, I had one of my apprentice boys that had worked for me and then worked for Fitzroy Yachts, which was a yacht building operation in New Plymouth, luxury yachts that were sending yachts all over the world. They went belly up, and he came in looking for a resume. And I said, what are you doing? And he said, I don't know, I might get out my own. And I said, let's talk. And so I sold the business to one of my ex-apprentice boys.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was there. He kept all the staff on. So we just had a date that he took over, and yeah, paid me some money, and I worked for him for 18 months just in the design side, and as a bit of a mentor probably, until he was well and truly on his feet, and then I decided to let's have a crack at this real estate game.
Yeah. Yeah. And you started, was it as easy as you thought it would be?
That was probably different. I had no preconceived ideas. When I did first start the first year, they said to me, you don't expect to sell too many the first year. If you get 10 or 12, you'll be good.
Yeah.
And I did 27.
How many did you do, sorry?
27 in the first year. But to be fair, and I'm not into flyer drops. I didn't beat the streets knocking on doors. That's not my style.
Mm-hmm.
But, I had 34 years of database.
Yeah.
Clients I've worked for previously. I had a few clients ring me up going, look, we got houses can put the house on the market. No one knows the house better than you do. You did the kitchen, the bathrooms, the laundry, the wardrobes. And so it was a great help. And it still is.
Yeah.
I'm still doing a lot of that where people ring me and because of my past relationship with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They trust me because I've dealt with it before.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it works. And being in joinery for 34 years gives me a great background knowledge of houses, the materials, the build process, because, we see build processes right from concrete floor stage where we're, giving the plumber set outs for the pipes for the island bench or right to this end. So I know the materials inside and out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real,
Yeah, but it's not just the fact that you know stuff, is it? I remember a few stories that you told me when we met in New Plymouth a few months ago, before the whole Corona thing, and you told me about things that you do extra for people. That there's a guy that you went over to wash his roof, I think, and another elderly person that you sold his car for him. All sorts of stuff that you do in extra for people.
Yeah, so the lady at 18 Bill Road, which we sold, and the roof had a bit of lichen and stuff on it, and it just looked a bit grotty. And so I just said, look, Megan, I'll come in the weekend and I'll, water blast the roof for you. And that's what I did, I don't expect to get paid for it. It's just about sometimes helping people out. And I think if you give, you get back.
Yeah.
And that's what I did for her. I had an old guy on Painters Ave that was an interesting one, where I went and seen him. He was really happy. I said, look, I'll go away and do an appraisal. When I went round to see him and to knock on the door and say, here with my appraisal, he was a little bit sheepish and going, oh, I think I've made a mistake. And I'm going, what's that, Dick? And he said, oh, I've signed with another agent.
Mm.
And I'd offered to, when I was doing the first walk through the house, he had an old Nissan Primera that he was selling. Well, he wasn't selling, but he was concerned. He was going to a rest home.
Yeah.
So this car was a real concern for him. So I said, look, I'll take the car home. I'll valet it for you. I'll put it on the side of the road. We'll sell it. Whatever we get for it is yours. So anyway, when I went back, and he was a bit sheepish when he answered the door, he said, oh, I suppose the car deal's off. And I said, no, I'll still do the car for you.
Mm-hmm.
I could have walked away and said, stuff you. But I still did the car for him. But he rang me 2 days after that and said, oh, I've made a mistake. Come back and see me. So, yeah, we cleaned his car, took it around, I put it on the side of the road, sold it within 2 days. And got a great result for his house. We had multi-office.
Nice.
So I go to my way to help people out. And sometimes it's not about just the commission. It's about looking after people.
Mm.
And that's where referrals come from. I've had heaps of referrals from him. I've got a car yard mate that put me onto one the other day, and we sold that. He rang me yesterday and said, oh, I've got another house for you from my other friend I want you to sell. And it snowballs.
Mm-hmm.
If you look after people, it snowballs, because I've always said, even when I had my kitchen business, I could tell you how good a kitchen we built, and you'd half pie believe us. If your friend tells you how good the kitchens are, you believe them 100%. And it's the same principle for real estate. It doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're selling eggs or houses or kitchens. It's about looking after people sometimes. And yeah, I think we're there for the long game, not the short game. And too many people focused on that commission, get that in, get on with the next one, which is fine, but that's not my style. It's, looking after people and get a good name that way.
Yeah. You really are about building relationships with people and building the business through relationships and repeat business, and then constantly just building trust in the community, isn't it?
And it doesn't matter, and that's, to me, that's the foundation of business. It doesn't matter where you're selling shoes or clothes, or, you know, I've got a really good relationship, for example, with Giltrap Audi. And I go there because I have a great experience there, but then I've got a relationship with the guy in the finance department, the lady at the front desk. So you enjoy going there, so you go back.
Yeah.
You know, I took my car for a service on Monday. I drove to Auckland. I can get it serviced locally, but for me, it's an excuse to have a day off as well because I don't get too many of those. It's a good experience, and so you go back and you tell others, and real estate as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, so many times you hear real estate agents getting bagged for no real reason, and people think we're parasites because, you know, you list a house and sell it in 2 or 3 days, and you get a $10,000 commission, and they just think, oh my God, your alley rate's massive. And it's not all about that sometimes. They don't understand what goes on in the background. And yeah, we have some of those ones where you sell in 2 days, but we have some that you don't sell for 6 or 8 months either. Yeah.
And the market right now down in New Plymouth and the whole Taranaki area is still quite buoyant, still quite hot.
Really, really good. My phone just doesn't stop ringing. I've got appraisals coming out for years. Yeah. Classic example, I had a house that we had an offer on at 880 2 days before lockdown. Sold it during lockdown for $955.
Wow.
Negotiated at 75,000.
Yeah. So how do you do that? I remember, again, going back to our meeting a few months ago. How do you make sure that when the market is like this, that when you get the offers, you're not underselling the property for your vendors? What are some of the techniques or methods that you are using in negotiations?
Well, I always price a home, so I always have buyer inquiry over. And again, I've got one right now that's by negotiation because it's 1.2 million, which is for New Plymouth is, you know, quite a good price, and we've had no real inquiry, so we've put one under negotiation just to try and get the phone ringing about that property. But generally, I'm buyer inquiry over. I've had some fantastic results. I had one a little while ago in Margaret Place. GV was 595. People have done an awesome job of renovations, new kitchen, which that's what got me in the door for a start. But you know, awesome outdoor living area, great views. So we went to market the buyer inquiry over 725, and we sold it for 18 cash unconditional. Wow. And 80,000 above. Yeah, I would never ever take a vendor and offer verbally. I find it so much more powerful if you get the person on paper. Once you get them on paper, psychologically, they're starting to place the furniture in the house. They take ownership. And it's a lot easier to negotiate them up then because they're emotionally involved in it. And once they're emotionally involved, it's a lot easier to negotiate. Yeah. As opposed to, oh, we'll give you 600 for it. Oh, we'll go and express that verbally. It just doesn't work. And you also get to know how serious they are. A classic example, I had a guy called Sam, and he wanted to make an offer. So I said, yeah, let's make an offer. And we had on the market 1.2, and he offered 1.1. I knew that was never going to do it. When I talked to my vendor about that, I go, it's not where we start, it's where we finish. In the end, he paid 1.2. Right. You know, like I said to him, at the end, $80,000 in the next 10 years is going to be insignificant. If you want the house, like the house, just pay the money. Won't regret it. Yeah.
What are some of the things that you have done, and I don't know if you want to keep it as trade secrets for yourself, but if not, what are some of the things that you have done in order to, because $80,000 is still quite a large move on properties, on prices. Are there things that you do to help buyers see the light and move up in price?
There's 2 or 3 different things. I sometimes think silence is the best negotiator. You know, so we plant the seed. This one, they went from 880 to 955, was a classic example. I knew the vendor was never going to take 880. We presented that offer 2 days before lockdown 4. I was out walking a couple of times on our walkway and saw the purchaser, and she's going, oh, I love that house. I just love that house. And then she'd come up, and we got up to 940. Then we got up to 950. And then I went and seen the vendor, and they saying, oh, yeah, we'll take 950. How about you cut your commission? I'm going, oh, let me come back to you. I rang her up. I said, my vendor wants 960. You're at 950. How about you meet halfway? And she said, "Oh, I was hoping to go overseas on a holiday." And I'm going, "At the moment, planes aren't flying anywhere overseas. Buy the house and do the holiday later." And so we got her another $5,000 that way. I went back to the people and it was all good. And I talked to her that I always ring my people after they've been in the house for 2 or 3 weeks. She's stoked with the house. Yeah, really, really stoked.
Yeah.
But when we get to a competing offer or multi-offer, I sit down and talk to them and go, if and when I ring you tomorrow and you've missed out, don't tell me then you had another $10,000 or $15,000 because it's too late. And then they always go, well, what should we put in? I'm going, well, I can't tell you that because if you miss out, it's going to be my fault. I have to say to them, you are standing there at an auction, where are you happy to walk away and not be disappointed? Had some great results by talking to people like that. Getting up 20, 30 grand sometimes.
Yeah.
And I always say we're working for the vendor, not for the purchaser.
Yeah.
That's who's paying
it. In terms of marketing yourself and exposing yourself, if you want to call it, to the community and people around. So obviously you are working a lot of connections, a lot of networks. But do you do anything else? You said you don't do flyer drops and things like this, but
I just don't. Yeah, I just don't like them. I think half the time you do a flyer drop, it's put in the yellow bin before they get inside. It's not my style. I don't beat the streets. That's not my style either. I do different things. I've invested quite a bit of money on signs that light up at night time.
Right.
So there's a stainless steel case, if you like, with a door on it, toughened glass on the front, on 2 white painted 4x4 posts with an LED ceiling light in there. And I've had unbelievable results from that. People ring me and go, how do you get one of those lights outside your property? And I'm going, yeah, list with me. Because no one else is doing it. I've probably spent $40,000 on signs, though.
Wow.
But it's like anything. You've got to invest in your business. We put in $300,000 worth of CNC machinery in my joinery shop. If I hadn't done that, we wouldn't have been as efficient and as competitive.
Yeah.
These lines is not about being, lights are not about being competitive, but it gives me that point of difference.
Yeah. People remember you because of that.
And you see people on the street and they go, saw your sign at Morley Street or saw your sign on Elliott Street. People are seeing them.
Yeah.
Because this time of year, 5:30 and people are going home from work, it's almost dark. So the deal is, I put the sign up, I run the leads into the house, and they pay the power. About 10 cents an hour to run. And on time switch, doesn't go all day.
Yeah.
It's great marketing. And when I say to people when we're listing a house, spend the money on photos and on 3D walkthroughs. Spend the money there and get good photos. Yeah. And I can say to my photographer, we're only going to take photos on a good day. You take photos on a shit day, you get shit photos. Basically. And sometimes it's hard to work around that, especially through the winter time, but we try and time it right. And doing a lot more 3D walkthroughs now. Because, COVID-19 was a classic example, having some 3D walkthroughs. They can walk through the house without actually being there. So, it's about looking after people. I work, I try and work minimum 12-hour days. But it's easy for me. I live on my own and, I'm bachelor, not married, and I love it. So for me, it's saying, oh, you're going to burn out, you'll burn out. But if you love your job, it's not work anymore.
Yeah. So you work 12-hour days, you work almost 7 days a week. Probably there are times that you are doing 7 days a week. What is your outlet? What is your joy? How do you relax yourself? How do you unwind?
I've got a few toys in the shed. That's my motivation too, really. For some people it's different. Some people like to build up a portfolio of houses and have rentals. But for me, it's about enjoying life and having some toys. And I'm pretty good at spending money on toys. Yeah. Cars in the shed. I'll go home from work at 5 o'clock on a Saturday and just get in the car and go for a cruise for half an hour. That's how I unwind. Or just waxing them or just mucking about in the shed with them. Yeah. Everyone's I mean, that's my little thing, and I've got a little goal that I want a couple more yet, and that's what drives me at work as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different things drive different people, but I love the industry. It's a great industry. You meet some great people. You know, I come from an industry where I had lots and lots of stock, lots of debt. As for clients trying to pay you and they can't pay you this month, and I've got 2 accounts, fuel on the phone.
Mm. Yeah,
pretty easy to manage. Yeah. Oh, and a wage. Now I got a PA that's used to work for me for 7 years in the kitchen design business, and she went overseas and did an OE and got married and come back. But she's a great girl with great attitude. And I always say, you take people on with the right attitude, you can teach them the skills.
Mm.
You've got the skills, but you can never teach them the attitude.
Yeah. Great, Peter. One last question. People who are joining the industry right now, are thinking about joining the industry, or somebody who's already experienced and in the industry for a while, but have hit a patch where things are just not happening for them. What would be your recommendations to start a business for somebody new, or restart the business if you are already experienced?
Look, I think if you're starting now and you think you're going to get in and make a lot of money in a hurry without little work, you need to rethink that again.
Mm-hmm.
It's the whole story. The harder you work, the luckier you get. And listings create listings, because from those listings you have, and you take people through and they're interested, you get the appraisal for their house. So I always say listings create listings. I've got 19 listings at the moment. So it's about working hard. Put your head down, work hard. Yeah. And if you think you can work, 4 hours a day and have the rest of the day off and weekends off, well, you're in the wrong game.
Mm.
Yes, it's like anything. I say to the people at work here, and we had a thing a little while ago, and they're saying, "Oh, what's your process at one of our meetings?" And I'm going, "Well, my process is I turn the alarm off in the morning and I turn the one on at night." Some about it. We didn't know what the alarm code was. So it's about simple maths, really. If you're working 40 hours a week and you're selling 2 houses a month, guess what happens if you work 80 hours a week?
Mm.
4 houses a month. But for some people it's a lifestyle, and I understand that. That's all good. For me, it's about more toys, and but I love the industry, and I say once you love it, I mean, it's not like going to work. It's I'm going to hang out with friends, and you meet some great people and get some good referrals, and I think it takes a while to build that to start snowballing, and I'm just finding it's just starting to snowball now. My phone probably has rung more this year than for a long time about, come on, so-and-so sold their house with you, we want you to list our house. Yeah. That takes time. Yeah. This doesn't happen in the first bit.
Yeah.
But when I first started, I just had this thing about, I'm the agent trying to build a reputation rather than the agent trying to rely on a reputation. So it's just about working hard, really. There's no, and doing the point of difference. And my signs, my point of difference, I'm just in the process of coming up with another unique idea that no one's ever tried in real estate before. And I'll talk to you about that once we see if it works or not, but it's something completely different, off the wall. But, to invest $20,000 in signs, once I've got them, but it gives me my point of difference.
Yeah.
And I see so many signs out there, just not straight, crooked, blowing down, that's how you're presenting yourself.
Mm.
Even, make sure your signs are straight, put them up with a level, be proud of your sign.
Yeah.
It says a lot about the agent, I think, as well, for Joe Blogg who doesn't know anybody. But it's a great industry.
Excellent. Peter, I really, really appreciate your time. I appreciate your wisdom and your thoughts and what you have shared. And I look forward to our next interview, and who knows when you have another 2 PAs, probably. Thank you. We'll talk soon.
Okay. Cheers.